Okay, we have our custom portfolio loop working. Now we want to get all the content placed in correctly like it is in our portfolio HTML page. So what I'm going to do is copy this chunk of content right here, the entry content. We're going to paste it in first, and then we'll go ahead and make it dynamic afterwards. Put it at the top here. Actually, I'm going to use my code editor. That's pretty straightforward. So this is the part that's looping through. As we can see, each one is a portfolio item. There are 5 of them or 6 of them. So we can delete the bottom ones. Just keep one of those. And that's going to be the part that's inside of the actual loop. So let's grab the loop and put it right after this row. And then grab this area, the portfolio item, and we'll put it right inside of the loop.
Basically, the reason you're doing all this is to make it so that all of the content that needs to be repeated, that it needs to scroll through and pull content from, is running through that loop, and everything else is outside of the loop. Because we don't want to loop the container and the row and the entry content 5-6 times here.
Right.
We only want to loop the portfolio items.
Yeah, the only thing we need to loop is something that's actually repeating, which, as you can see here, if we look at the actual HTML structure, call MD4 portfolio item, those are repeating every time. So the first thing we need to do is change out the H4 tag here. That's the title, obviously. We'll replace that with some HTML. So this is going to be the permalink. The image, so we actually have custom fields that we're using the image for. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that's really customized here. So let's go back into our custom fields and see what we've called this. This is the portfolio items. So we have portfolio image, and then on the page of those two, we don't need those. So let's get the field of portfolio image, which we should know how to do. And we could also change this to be the title so that that's not the same every single time. That kind of makes sense to do. Let's refresh this and see how that looks right now. Ah, great success. Now there is some type of formatting issue where this element is not being cleared. Let's look at the code here. Portfolio item. Looks like our code structure will have to be rearranged so that every 4th portfolio item clears both. And I can do that in the CSS really quick. I'll just go down to the bottom so we can do this quickly. So just called portfolio item. This is just a CSS indicator, CSS pseudo class I use pretty often. So it should be 4th. See if that works. There you go. So the great thing about this is, well, let's make sure everything's working. We have the title. That is the Classy Building project. That is the Beach Sky project. So they're pulling the right loop. When we click on the image, it's taking us to the page.
I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah. The only other things we have left to do, and we can do this right now. Let's go to our menu, add that portfolio page. And we're pretty much golden here.